Hour number 2, Monday. Okay, we got 3 big, fat nuggets today, Prater. And no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about sports talk radio topics here in Boise, Idaho. We have Super Bowl 58, Kansas City, San Francisco. Looks like it could be a thrilling game. We don't even know how close this point spread could become. Maybe it'll turn into a pick 'em at some point. We have Kellen Moore, who I don't know if it's officially official yet, but he's going to be the coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles. What does this opportunity mean for him at this point in his career? We'll get there in about an hour. But the other topic in this town, Boise State basketball, in particular, senior Max Rice. I think it was Tusk tweeted out last night. He's in conference play, one of the poorest shooters in America right now with college basketball struggling. We talked with Leon about it, and we want to open up the phone calls. 208-424-9300. Let us have it. Let us know. Are you concerned Max Rice is playing too many minutes? Is he taking too many shots? What do you want as a result? What would you do? 208-424-9300. Speak now or forever hold it on the Double Tap Pub hotline. All right, Prater, which is it for you? Too many minutes, too many shots, and neither this, neither that. Where you at, Forrest?
I want Max Rice on the floor as many minutes as possible. I think the dude does a million different things that makes my basketball team better. Rebounding, smarts, IQ, intangibles, hustle, defense. He's not the greatest defender in the world, but he's fine. He's totally fine. He takes care of the basketball. He doesn't get in foul trouble. I think he brings a lot to the table. The only thing I need from Max Rice is to stop with that stupid mentality of a shooter has to shoot his way through a slump. Are you kidding me? That's not, I don't believe in that at all. And in this particular case, I absolutely do not believe that. If anything, and this is what we talked to with Leon Rice today about limiting his shots. He's in a 6-game slump. Before that, he was doing just fine, but he's in a 6-game slump. He's taking way too many shots, 29 shots the last 2 games. I need to see that under 10. Now, does Max come in or does Leon come in and tell Max, you have to cap that at 8 to 10? I only want you taking 3 or 4 shots a half. I don't know how that messes with a man's confidence, especially when you're a guy like Max. You have to be able to play that game. But yeah, Max is in a shooting slump. Max can't shoot at all right now. It's a big problem for the basketball team, and they have to figure out something. Otherwise, I think Max deserves to be on the court, on the floor, on the minutes. He's doing a lot of other different things, and this has absolutely nothing to do with a son, a father, or R.J. Keene. If R.J. Keene plays more minutes, I'm going to be fired up. That dude, the coaching staff tells me, he's not ready to play big minutes. He's not as good as Max Rice. Some of these other kids, Kobe Young, not as good as Max Rice. I don't want to see them more. We're trying to win basketball games 2 hours at a time in the middle of February and March right now, and I need Max Rice on the floor ball game.
208-424-9300. What are your thoughts? We're talking Max Rice. Speak now. Forever hold it. Like I said, too many minutes, too many shots. Okay, I can feel you on that. 29 shots the last 2 games is too many. And I think Max would probably look at that and even maybe shake his head a little bit, especially with the percentages of, only about 23, 24, 25% of those shots are going in. Those are valuable possessions. And in my opinion, when typically on a 5-man floor with this team, I think Max is probably your 4th option offensively. Okay. I would select Dagenhart, Omar, and Buzo as option 1, 2, and 3. And Max might be a pretty distant 4, as would Roddy or Jace Whiting, whatever the rotation is. Cam Martin, throw him in there too, Prater. But, I don't want to forget that he's an 1,000-point career scorer. I don't want to forget that last year he was 2nd team All-Mountain West. But no, this year, for whatever the reason, and I don't know, maybe it's too many minutes and it's wearing on him, so the ball's not going in. Maybe, he just can't get whatever. I'm not a golfer, but the yips, whatever it is, something in your head psychologically that's, unfortunately just not working the way you want. Maybe it is, his old school YMCA up and under game that worked. It felt so well last year. Prater, those balls danced on the rim and they fell in for him last year. Dude, anything but this year. Even when you look at what he's doing now, he's in Mountain West play, Prater. He's 2nd on this team in rebounding. He's 2nd on this team in assists. He's 3rd in steals. He's 4th in points. Now, here's the question I ask you, 208-424-9300. Is that because he's a good player, or is that because he's playing the most minutes? He's only accumulating those stats because he gets to play 35 minutes a night, and he doesn't deserve those minutes. And if other players were given those minutes, well, they would have about the same stats, if not better, than what Max has. And that, to me, is kind of where the rubber is meeting the road on this, where you have the community of Bronco Nation that says, kind of what you're saying there. No, you need Max to play as many minutes. That's not the problem. The problem is he's shooting too much. He needs to be less of a focal point in this offense. I also say this, and I'll give the mic back to you, Prater. In Mountain West play, Max Rice takes more shots a game than Omar and Buzo. I don't think that's a winning recipe for this team. I think Max is a good player, but I don't think he should be shooting more than Omar or Buzo.
Yeah, just take the whole Mountain West out of it. I mean, look at the whole season. Nobody has shot more baskets than anybody on this basketball team than Max Rice this year. He's number one on the team in shots taken, 208. That's way, way too many. Max Rice is not your sharpshooter. This should be leading your team in shots, especially when he's at 34% and the big three are at 57% to 47% to 40 or 50%. Max Rice is only playing 31 minutes a game. I'm totally comfortable with that. Okay, so some knuckleheads out there want him to play less.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say Max is playing, 24 minutes a game. Was all of a sudden Boise State better? I don't think so. And RJ Keene is not going to make Boise State better. Kobe Young is not going to make Boise State better. Now, I do have an issue with Omar Stanley. Omar Stanley is only averaging 25 minutes a game. Now, the last couple of games, he's fouled out, and that's been because of some boneheaded decisions and moves on his part. I need to see Omar Stanley play more. I need to see Max Rice play less. Shoot less. I have no problem with Max Rice averaging 31 minutes. As a matter of fact, I think that's a perfectly responsible number.
Yeah.
31 minutes. That means for the most part, he's playing 3/4 of the game and sitting out, 9 to 10 minutes a game. And I'm perfectly okay with that. That's 4.5, 5 minutes per half. I'm perfectly okay with that. There is no way Max Rice should be leading this team in shots. And if I was Leon, I would say, Max, you gotta stop shooting the ball. You can't be draining those 25 three-pointers just because you're feeling it. It's not going in when you go inside right now, and that's not the strength of our team. If we're going to go inside, I want Omar Stanley and Shabuzo and Tyson to bang inside, not Max Rice to bang inside. Heck,
yes.
Give me Jace Whiting on a layup, but that's not a good idea either. So give me the big three inside. Max, you take 1 or 2 shots a half, and you're good, and keep him on the floor for 31. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to advocate for Max to play more. 31 minutes is not enough. I want his minutes to go up. I want his shooting to go down.
Prater says Max needs to play more, not less. 208-424-9300. Where are you with Max's minutes? Is it the field goal attempts that's bothering you? Is he doing other things well at an all-conference or whatever caliber level? 208-424-9300. Share your thoughts, and if you want to defend him, JP's talking to callers right now, Prater. Defend Max. Are people too hard on him? Is it because, obviously, if it wasn't the situation where his dad's the coach, where are they assessing this? People probably say Max would have already been benched if his dad wasn't the coach. And
I don't buy that. That's easy, too lazy. I don't buy that for a second.
Yeah, you're saying you don't buy the daddy's boy stuff with this.
I do not. With
this thing that Prater, you said it earlier, you don't think Max Rice is leading this team in minutes because his dad's the coach.
I don't. Although it's very suspicious why he is leading the team. Well, he's not leading the team in minutes.
Sorry.
Buzo's leading the team in minutes. Tyson's second. I think Max is third.
I was looking at league only.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking at overall. Max is leading the team in shooting.
Yeah.
That's what I have a problem with. Max should not be leading the team in shots taken. That's a ridiculous stat that needs to be fixed immediately.
All right, let's hit up our Double Tap Pub hotline. Steely's home this week. Hit up that Double Tap. Guy, you're first up. What's up, Guy? What you got?
Hey, I'm worried about recruiting because we're playing Max too much. I agree that he's shooting too much. I agree he doesn't, he's got great basketball IQ, but it hurts our recruiting.
How does it hurt recruiting, dude? How does it hurt recruiting? How does Max playing 31 minutes a game hurt recruiting?
Who's going to come play? You got another Rice kid on the bench, and they know what's going to happen if they follow suit. So who's going to come play for Boise State? Guards are a dime a dozen out there, and we have mediocre guards.
Ridiculous. So you're intimidated by Cade Rice, a walk-on kid who's played 18 minutes this entire season and may never play more than that his entire career. I promise you, dude, recruits are not intimidated by the Max and Cade Rice boys in Boise State. Come on, dude. That's not even fair.
Double Tap Pub Hotline. Dave, you're next up. Dave, we're talking Max Rice. What do you have?
Guys, tell me some other person in the country that's going to play 31 minutes a game and shoot 34% from the field and lead his team in shot attempts and isn't a coach's kid. Last week you told me he was 6'5", Ballgame. He's not 6'5".
What is he?
Number two.
Yeah, he is.
Number two, he doesn't play like he's 6'5". He plays like he's about 6 feet. He's a liability on defense, and it's time to give some guys a couple extra minutes just to see what happens.
So he wants to roll the dice. Play RJ Keene, even if it hurts us. We think he's going to be better than Max. Not ready for that either, or Kobe Young. Now, look, I've been trying to get Kobe Young on the floor, but the coaching staff is telling us he's not ready. As far as here's the other thing. Second in rebounding, second in assists, third in steals. Like we went through all those.
First in free throw shooting. First in smarts, first in IQ. They don't win the San Diego State game without him and some of the things that he does that don't show up in the stat box. Guys, I'm not sitting here playing favorite because he's on our studio, because he's daddy's little boy, whatever you want to say. I have no problem criticizing anybody, anywhere, anytime, anyhow. But I'm telling you that Max Rice does a lot of different things on this basketball team. He's a good basketball player. He is 6'5". I'm a legit 6'4". I have to look up, just look at Max Rice in the eyes. He's a legit. Maybe now I will agree. He doesn't play.
People want to hate on his height.
Well, I do agree that he doesn't play like he's 6'5". He plays much shorter than that.
Sure.
There are players who play up, and Max Rice doesn't. There are players who play down, and Max Rice does. So I will give him that. That's a smart comment that I've never heard anybody say, and I think it's 100% accurate. But for me, it's just all about the shooting. You tell Max to stop shooting the ball and go do all the other things. And he's not a defensive liability. It's not a strength, but he's fine. He's absolutely fine when it comes to defense and better than fine when it comes to a lot of these other stat categories.
I'll tell you, at one time, he may have been a defensive liability. That was like 2 years ago, though. That is an old narrative. Let's get to John on the Double Tap Pub hotline. Here we go. We're fired up. I love it. John, what you got?
Right on, Ballgame. Hey, love you guys' show. Thanks for taking my call here. And, hey, I love Max Rice on defense. That guy, he can stop some of the best. He proved that in the San Diego State game last year. And the only beef I have with him is when he shoots and he shoots his three-pointer, the next time he gets the ball, he feels like he's got to follow it up with another shot.
A heat check three.
When he drives that lane, he just gets bogged down. And I agree with Mike when he said he needs to not drive. Don't drive unless it's wide open, of course, But pitch it out. They don't do enough drive and pitch out for a three-pointer. They got 4 guys on that team that can shoot three-pointers easily. Pitch it out, drive, dribble, drive, shoot. That's it.
All right, John, that's a good stuff, too. Appreciate you on the Double Tap Pub hotline. Max Rice, too many minutes or too many shots? Nick, what do you have?
Well, I'm not changing nothing that he's doing except for shooting too much. He's in the right place at the right times on defense. He's getting steals when no one else is trying. He's doing what he should be doing. I'm not going to take his minutes from him either.
Okay, there's Nick on that. I mean, I would have a hard time. And maybe you can say, well, yeah, if you played anybody 35 minutes, they would probably be second on the team in rebounds, second on the team in assists, third in steals, first free throw percentage, fourth scoring. But again, I don't know if that's the case or not. There's no way to prove that.
No.
208-424-9300. I appreciate you guys on a Max Rice conversation. Emotions of yesterday. Sunday. You were on your couch. We were all on our couch. What a day that was of football. I saw some of the ratings come in. We weren't the only ones watching, guys. It was an emotional Sunday. Ravens, Lions. Where are you guys? You want to keep sharing? We'd love to hear it on Prater in the Ballgame.
From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Studio.